Have you ever thought that the handful of nuts you eat could decide whether you enjoy strong, lasting performance after 60 or quietly lose it without warning? Most men never make the connection, but science is clear. Some nuts can supercharge circulation, fuel testosterone, and sharpen sensitivity, while others slowly choke blood flow, dull nerves, and drain your confidence. And here's the scary part. One of the worst nuts is something almost every man eats every single day. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 5 nuts to eat for energy and vitality, and the 2 you must limit if you want to protect your performance. Now I want to hear from you. Do you snack on nuts regularly? Type yes in the comments if you do and no if you don't. You might be surprised whether your choice is helping or hurting you. Before we get into the list, let's understand why nuts matter so much for men after 60. Erections aren't just about desire. They're about blood flow, nerve strength, and hormones all working together. The right nuts deliver omega-3 fats to keep arteries flexible, arginine to boost nitric oxide for stronger circulation, zinc to fuel testosterone, and antioxidants to protect your nerves. That combination keeps your stamina steady, your desire alive, and your confidence high. But here's the catch. Not all nuts are created equal. Some build you up. Others quietly break you down, raising inflammation and stiffening your arteries over time. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. The good nuts keep it soft and flexible so blood flows freely. The bad nuts clog and harden it until the pressure fades. Which do you want when it matters most? That's why in the next few minutes, I'll show you the 5 nuts that actively strengthen circulation and hormones, and then reveal the 2 common ones that silently sabotage performance. The first nut on the good list is a simple snack you probably already have in your kitchen, and it's one of the most powerful foods for men's vitality. Why nuts matter. After 60. The first nut on the list is walnuts. They may look ordinary, but inside, they're packed with nutrients that directly fuel male vitality. Walnuts are one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids and the amino acid arginine. Your body uses arginine to create nitric oxide, the very molecule that tells your arteries to relax and open up. Without enough nitric oxide, blood can't flow fully into the erectile tissue and firmness fades. With plenty of it, blood surges in and stays there, giving you stronger, more reliable erections. But walnuts do even more. They're loaded with vitamin E and polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect your nerves. Nerves are the communication lines of pleasure. They carry signals from your brain down to your pelvic region and back again. If those nerves are undernourished or damaged by stress, arousal feels muted and climax can feel weaker. By eating a small handful of walnuts regularly, about a 4 cup, you feed those nerves and keep responsiveness sharp. Many of my patients who added walnuts daily noticed not only firmer erections, but also better mood, steadier energy, and stronger morning vitality. The second nut is almonds. Almonds are famous for supporting the heart, but they also work wonders for hormones. They're rich in magnesium, a mineral most men over 60 are deficient in. Magnesium lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that steals testosterone. High cortisol doesn't just make you tense, it literally blocks your body from producing testosterone by calming the stress response. Almonds allow testosterone to rise again naturally. They also provide vitamin E, which protects the lining of your arteries from oxidative stress, the rust that stiffens blood vessels. When your arteries are flexible, blood moves easily where it needs to go, and that includes your pelvic circulation. The key is to enjoy almonds raw or lightly roasted, not covered in sugar or salt. A handful a few times a week keeps walnut power for circulation strong, stress balanced, and energy steady. The third nut is pistachios. They may be small, but they're loaded with arginine. Remember, arginine is the raw material for nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is the master switch for erections. Here's what's exciting. Clinical studies have shown that men who ate pistachios daily for just a few weeks had measurable improvements in erectile function. That's not theory, that's science. Pistachios also lower LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that clogs arteries like sludge in a pipe. When those pipes lead to your pelvic region, the result is weaker blood flow and weaker erections. By clearing those pathways, pistachios keep circulation wide open. The best way to use them? A small handful as an afternoon snack. Over time, they don't just keep you full. They actively support firmness and endurance. The fourth nut is Brazil nuts. They stand out for one reason: selenium. This trace mineral is easy to overlook, but it's critical for testosterone, prostate function, and overall energy. Without enough selenium, testosterone dips and vitality fades. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day give you all the selenium you need. More is not better. Selenium builds up in the body, so keep it small. I often tell my patients, think of Brazil nuts as a natural testosterone pill you can snack on. Eating 1 or 2 in the evening supports hormone production overnight, so you wake up with stronger desire and firmer morning erections. The fifth nut is hazelnuts. Most people know them from chocolate spreads, but on their own, they're a powerful food for circulation and nerve health. Hazelnuts are rich in folate, also called vitamin B9, which keeps your nervous system sharp. Healthy nerves mean sharper sensitivity and stronger arousal. They also provide magnesium to keep stress down and testosterone up, along with heart-healthy fats that almonds and stress balance reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the enemy of erections. It stiffens arteries and lowers hormone function. By calming inflammation, hazelnuts keep blood vessels flexible and hormones balanced. They're also filling without being heavy, which helps with weight management. And that's important because belly fat doesn't just sit there. It actively lowers testosterone and fuels inflammation. Swapping processed snacks for hazelnuts is a small change with a big payoff. So there you have it. Walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and hazelnuts. Each one brings its own way of strengthening circulation, fueling hormones, and protecting your nerves. Together, they create a strong foundation for energy and performance at any age. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these nuts do you already eat? Type it in the comments below. Walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, or hazelnuts? Which one is your favorite? And stay with me because in the next section, I'll reveal the 2 nuts that look harmless but actually sabotage your performance over time. One of them is so common, you've probably eaten it this week without realizing the damage it's doing. Now that we've covered the 5 best nuts for energy and performance, let's talk about the ones you need to be careful with. Because while some nuts fuel circulation and hormones, others quietly work against you. And if you snack on the wrong ones too often, the results show up where you least want them. The first nut that hurts more than it helps is peanuts. Peanuts may be the most common snack in America, whether in peanut butter trail mix or roasted at the ball game. But here's the truth. Peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes. And that difference matters because peanuts come with some hidden drawbacks. One of the biggest concerns is aflatoxins, mold toxins that often contaminate peanuts. These toxins put stress on your liver, and when your liver, pistachios, and nitric oxide is struggling, it can't regulate hormones properly. That alone can chip away at testosterone and leave you feeling sluggish. Add to that the fact that peanuts are naturally very high in omega-6 fatty acids. A little omega-6 is fine, but most modern diets already get way too much. And when omega-6 outweigh omega-3s, inflammation takes over. Inflammation stiffens arteries, slows circulation, and irritates the prostate. Think of it this way. If walnuts act like oil for your arteries, peanuts act like sandpaper. Day after day, they scrape at the lining of your blood vessels, making them less flexible. And less flexibility means weaker blood flow. Of course, eating a handful of peanuts once in a while won't ruin your health. But if peanuts or peanut butter are your main snack every single day over time, That habit chips away at your circulation and hormone balance. The second nut you need to watch is cashews. Now, don't get me wrong, cashews taste amazing. They're creamy, satisfying, and often a favorite in mixed nut blends. But they come with two hidden catches that can work against men over 60. First, cashews are high in phytic acid, a natural compound that binds to minerals like zinc and magnesium. Zinc is one of the most important nutrients for male health. Without it, testosterone drops, sperm health suffers, and the prostate becomes more vulnerable. Magnesium, which also gets blocked, supports circulation and relaxation. So, when phytic acid locks those minerals away, your body can't use them effectively. That's like stocking your pantry with food, but leaving it all sealed in cans you can't open. Second, cashews carry a higher carbohydrate load compared to most nuts. That means they can spike your blood sugar if you eat too many, especially in the evening. And here's the chain reaction. Every time blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, chronically high. Insulin lowers testosterone and fuels belly fat. Belly Brazil, nuts and testosterone fat itself further suppresses testosterone and stirs up inflammation. It's a vicious cycle, and cashews can nudge you in that direction if they're your go-to snack. Now, this doesn't mean you have to ban peanuts or cashews forever. Having a few cashews on a salad or a spoonful of natural peanut butter once in a while isn't going to destroy your vitality. The danger comes from making them your main everyday snack. When that happens, they steal away the minerals and circulation you need for firm, reliable performance. So, here's the smarter choice. Instead of reaching for peanuts, grab walnuts or pistachios. Instead of eating handfuls of cashews, swap in almonds or hazelnuts. The taste is just as satisfying, but the impact on your body is completely different. Over time, those small swaps add up to better circulation, steadier testosterone, and a stronger, more confident you. One of my patients, Robert, a 64-year-old retired teacher, told me he ate peanut butter toast every morning for decades. When I explained how peanuts can fuel inflammation, he agreed to switch to almond butter instead. Within 3 months, Robert noticed he felt less bloated, had more steady energy, and yes, his morning erections came back stronger. Sometimes it really is that simple. So, here's my question for you. Be honest. Do you eat peanuts or cashews more than once a week? Type yes if you do or no if you rarely touch them. You may be Hazelnuts and Nerve Health surprised how many men discovered their favorite snack was working against them. And keep watching because next I'll share the bigger picture. How do you take these nut choices and weave them into a daily routine that fuels your energy, your circulation, and your performance without feeling restricted? That's where the real transformation happens. Let me share a story that shows just how powerful these small daily choices can be. A few years ago, I met a patient named Thomas. He was 67, a retired engineer, and he came to see me because he was frustrated. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I've lost my spark. My energy is low, my confidence is slipping, and intimacy just isn't what it used to be." He had already tried medications, but he hated the side effects. What he really wanted was a natural way to rebuild his vitality. When we looked closely at his diet, I noticed something right away. Every afternoon, Thomas snacked on salted peanuts and a bowl of cashews. He thought he was making a healthy choice better than cookies or chips. But the truth was, those snacks were fueling inflammation, stealing his zinc, and making it harder for his circulation to work properly. I asked him to try a simple swap. Replace the peanuts with walnuts and pistachios. Trade the cashews for a few Brazil nuts and almonds. Nothing extreme, just a handful of the right nuts each day. Within 6 weeks, Thomas came back with a smile. He said, "I feel different. My energy is steadier. I'm sleeping better. 2 bad nuts to avoid. And my confidence with my wife has returned." His blood pressure improved. His morning testosterone readings were stronger. And most importantly, he felt like himself again. This is what I want you to remember. Performance after 60 isn't about one big change or one magic pill. It's about dozens of small decisions that either build you up or break you down. Each snack, each meal, each habit is like laying a brick. The right bricks create a strong foundation that supports your energy and intimacy for years. The wrong ones chip away until the structure becomes shaky. Think of your vitality like a house. Every nut you eat is either a sturdy brick that strengthens the walls or a cracked brick that weakens them. Walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and hazelnuts. Those are strong bricks. Peanuts and cashews, when eaten too often, are the cracked ones. Over time, the difference between a solid house and a crumbling one is simply the choices you made day after day. And here's something else. Many men forget these changes don't just affect you. When you take steps to restore your energy, your mood, and your performance, your partner feels the difference too. Confidence is contagious. Intimacy becomes more alive, connection becomes deeper, and your relationship grows stronger. I've seen it happen again and again in my clinic. Men who felt discouraged, even hopeless, suddenly rediscovered their vitality just by making smarter daily choices. That's why I share these stories, because I want you to know that no matter your age, you are not stuck. Your body is capable of change, and your best days are not behind you. So, let me ask you this. If you could make just one swap this week, trading a harmful habit for a helpful one, what would it be? Would you switch peanuts for walnuts, cashews for almonds, or maybe add a couple of Brazil nuts in the evening? Type your answer in the comments below. Your decision might inspire another man to take his first step. And don't go anywhere, because in story, Thomas's transformation. The final part of this video, I'll recap the key lessons, give you a simple game plan you can start today, and leave you with one powerful reminder that could change the way you think about your health for the rest of your life. So, let's bring everything together. We've seen how something as simple as the nuts you snack on can quietly shape your energy, your circulation, your hormones, and your confidence. 5 nuts stand out as true allies for men after 60 walnuts, almonds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and hazelnuts. Each one works in its own way, feeding nitric oxide, protecting nerves, lowering stress, boosting testosterone, or calming inflammation. Together, they create a foundation for firmer erections, steadier energy, and stronger vitality. And we've also seen the 2 nuts that can work against you when eaten too often: peanuts and cashews. Peanuts, with their mold toxins and high omega-6 content, quietly fuel inflammation and hormone imbalance. Cashews, with their phytic acid and higher carb load, can steal away zinc and magnesium while spiking blood sugar. Neither one will ruin your health in small amounts. But when they become daily staples, they chip away at the very systems you need to stay strong. Here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just a few simple swaps can make a real difference. Trade peanut butter for almond butter. Swap your cashew snack for walnuts or pistachios. Add 1 or 2 Brazil nuts in the evening. Sprinkle hazelnuts over your morning oatmeal. These are small recap and final advice, realistic changes that fit into everyday life, and they add up over time. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s transform just by making these changes. Energy that was fading came back. Confidence that was slipping returned. And relationships that felt distant grew stronger again. Remember, performance after 60 is not about chasing youth. It's about fueling your body so it can keep doing what it was designed to do. And here's my challenge for you this week. Choose one nut swap to commit to. Maybe you'll add walnuts to your breakfast, or keep a bag of pistachios in your car instead of peanuts. What's the one change you're willing to start with today? Write it in the comments below. You might be surprised how quickly other men will join in, and how these small steps create a ripple effect. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It really helps more men discover this kind of information. Subscribe to the channel for more practical science-based advice for men over 50. And share this with a friend who might need it. Sometimes the best gift you can give is knowledge that changes someone's life. And before we close, let me remind you, this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every man's body is unique. If you are experiencing pain, significant changes, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your well-being deserves personalized,